before the internet, where we will have people here in the diaspora where to develop maybe a kind of some of the lessons. You can develop some of these lessons and
Yeah.
put them on the archive or whatever flash drive, where you can actually go into some of these schools that are already well functioning, some of the secondary school and high school, and all of them on the computer, where students can actually learn some of these things and really improve on the academic. I remember in the days where there used to be pamphlet, this kind of small paperweights they do and buy and sell them.
We used to call them polycarps,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Polycarps. Everybody knew about polycarp. Me and you have spoken about this, and I've spoken to some of the leaderships of our community about this. And the think back, and I just want, it's always good to be practical about things that we're talking so people can understand.
Hmm.
There are quite a number of our people here who did what we call back home arts and came here, and many of them have, advanced degrees in science-related fields, including a majority of them in nursing areas, right?
Hmm.
And many of these people ran away from math back home. They couldn't do math, they couldn't do biology because somehow somebody told them that they couldn't do it. But the problem was that the person who was telling them that they couldn't do it, or whether they had this perception, is that one of the biggest problems is these people didn't even know how to teach. All right?
Hmm. Hmm.
If you had a teacher who had one A level coming to try to teach A level, or maybe somebody who had three O level coming to teach O level kids and stuff like that, many of these people had no idea about what it meant, that like understanding, mastering the material. When you don't have the mastery of the material, it becomes very difficult for you to transmit the material.
Yeah.
So if we then do, when these people came here, when our people off to come here, they get here, and because of they need a job, and now they have to go and do and learn something, and that would allow them have a job. Then they have to end up in nursing, and then they go, and then somebody who understands the biology breaks them down, who understands the math and breaks them down and teach them. Then all of a sudden they realize that they were not dumb after all. They could understand this. And you see many of them flourishing.
Hmm.
That has got to tell you something, that these our people, our children, if we go back, and part of the other thing that we should look at is actually, as we're looking at the students, the teachers that are there now, it is not only in terms of the lack of ability to do, but also the lack of the numbers themselves. And we've talked about just creating this cloud
Yeah.
space, or and we have student people here who have degrees in physics, who were teachers back home. Some of them are teachers here. You can take some in math, some in chemistry, some in biology, some
Biology.
in literature. Just sit back, take whatever field you have, take the content, look at the syllabus of Cameroon schools, and beyond the syllabus, ask the question, what should a child at that level know? Develop lecture series, put them on the internet, put them like we do Google. You go to
Yeah.
YouTube, right? You go to YouTube all the time, and when something is difficult for you to understand,
No, you go to
maybe
YouTube.
you go to YouTube. Some people would break it down very, very well, easy for you to understand. So we can do that for our schools and put them there in those computers. So in now, so that the child, both the children and the teachers, have
Yes.
access to this, right? Have access to this. So then our next big project then only becomes supplying internet, which now we have Starlink.
Yeah.
We can use that.
No, Dr. Emo,
So
before we even go to internet, if you do this thing now, even offline, you load this program into the computer,
yeah,
they can still use it.
yes. No, I'm just saying that we
Yeah, I know, I
can.
get the point.
There
I'm saying
is,
that even before the internet, even before,
yeah.
I'm not saying that the internet is bad, but I was just talking about like if you design some of this
No, if you are
program,
looking at the cloud, right?
yes,
Sometimes the problem with just loading them on the internet may
the
become space of
space.
the devices that they have. I'm not a
Hmm.
technology, but I'm not a techie person or IT
But
folks.
yes, yes, sure.
So
But if you
we
have the
can bring
internet,
our
it will
IT
do
folks into this conversation, into this conversation, right?
less.
Into how do you do this? And this is where thinking matters. And this is why I really wanted us to get this project, this particular thing done. Like we've talked now about this particular program done. So people can begin to think that there's a way that you can help beyond just donating money,
Money.
right?
Hmm.
There is a way that you can help, which you don't necessarily need to go down to Lebialem
Yeah.
or to Cameroon to help. A lot of the people who sit down now and do and teach IT and teach all the things that are allowing you, like all this creating all these apps that are allowing you and me to do now,
Yeah.
many of those people are sitting, these things might have started in Silicon Valley, but somebody is sitting in Silicon Valley and communicating with somebody in Delhi, in India,
Hmm.
and teaching them how to do this. Why can we not do the same?